hands-free mode. Today and from now on I miss the safety. So I found my old bracket I used for the flip, because right now I ran out of all dash cams. You know, I need to get a dash cam, but so for now I'm using a flip, and you'll see when I start driving that the field of view is a bit narrow. But actually it's not too bad, because you know, recently I've been looking at body cams that cops use, and I noticed that the field of view of that, what is it, VU2 is the name of the camera that lots of cops use. It's about $300, so you can clip it to your uniform or your pocket if you're not a military, if you're not wearing military clothes, right? Jesus. And so until then, we're gonna use the flip until the better times. And what's happening today is that today's Monday. I waited Friday after I picked up this Mexican space station. I drove to Cambridge, to my home area, and hoping that there'll be a load, but like, because I still have 11 feet on the front of my IGN, but nothing happened. The market was dry, as they say, and I just took advantage of the time, and I did manage to pull off oil change, but the guy told me the Shell Rotella T6 synthetic 5W40 was almost $300 more than regular oil. So I just put in regular oil for now. But I think it's now it's November 24th, and it's like crazy weather, plus 12. You'll see when I turn the camera. I'm just checking to see if all my wheels are spinning. You know, that's a good practice I learned. Well, now it's warm, but you know, in winter, when the truck is being sitting in cold weather, it's always a good idea to do like a zigzag so you can see the rear of your trailer, because sometimes the tires get seized. And it happened to me a couple of times. Luckily my CB radio was on, and someone started, you know, shouting, "Hey, you know, Landstar, you know, your tires are screwed up, your wheels." And basically you gotta go underneath and just bang on those brake shoes. Just, you know, just gently hammer them, and they will come away from the wheel, and you can start driving. Otherwise you're gonna damage your tires, right? Not a good idea. And yeah, so Friday I came in here, so I spent a weekend at home, and yeah, so I did the service, but now my goal was to do oil changes every 30,000 miles, because that's what they recommend, anywhere between 35 and 30. Go. This guy, go. And there's a guy trying to leave. And so this time I think it's still warm, so I'll just maybe do, I don't know, 20,000 first time. So hopefully that'll be like 2 months maybe. Yeah, what is it, November, December? No, it's end of November. Yeah, maybe when it's really cold.
Continue 250 meters, then enter roundabout.
I'll do an oil change, and I use the Shell Rotella, the one I wanted, because thanks to one of my viewers for the suggestion that you can actually buy it very cheap at Walmart. And I looked at the prices online at Walmart Canada. It's like 47 bucks.
Take second exit
Canadian for 1 gallon. Right? So that doesn't sound good, because I need 10 jugs. I need 10 gallons. And then I checked on Walmart US, and it's $21 US. almost 2 times cheaper. So that's what I'm gonna do next time. Next time I'm in the States for more than 48 hours, when I get my you know, duty-free allowance up to $800, I'll buy 10 jugs at Walmart, because I didn't see them selling pails, like, you know, 10-gallon pails. I just buy 10 jugs for $210 US, and I'll bring it here. And so this way I can save $200. You know? So anyway, yeah. So now I'm driving. My first drop is in.
Turn left on Town Line Road, then take ramp ahead.
My first drop is in Pennsylvania, and after that I'm going to New Jersey. And that's what the flip picture looks like. When you use it as a dash cam. As I mentioned before, this is hands-free mode. I'm using a suction mount cup.
Take ramp on right to Highway 401 East.
And today, so November 24th, and I feel as if I'm in Australia somewhere, because the temperature is plus 12 Celsius, which is, I think, what, like 45, 50 Fahrenheit? Very unusual for this time of year. Just a few days ago, we were dying from like extremely chilly wind, and the temperature was minus 12. And I hope you guys and gals will appreciate that Mack mascot you can see in the bottom part of the picture, because before, when I tried to shoot straight forward, people were complaining that it felt as if they were sitting on the bumper. So now you have that reference point. Look for that Mack mascot at the bottom. So this way at least you'll feel you're sitting right on the mascot, which should be a bit more comfortable than sitting on the bumper. Oh, and by the way, my load is very light, so the space station is 10,000 pounds, and the aluminum stairway, 3 skids, is less than 1,000 pounds.
43 kilometers on Highway 401 East.
So very nice load, so I expect very good fuel mileage, but I will report about it later. I might already have a return load, something from Baltimore, some kind of agricultural equipment, but I'm not 100% yet sure.
Continue 25 kilometers on 6.
Now here's what my engine sounds when I'm changing gears from stop. Of course, much quieter than with the cab. Especially when you load it, pulls you down like crazy. And you see the truck on the opposite side, the poor guy has like what? Very heavy, probably tanker, multi-axle. It's a very bad hill. Try to climb when you're fully loaded. Like even when I drive my pickup truck, going down here, you gotta brake all the time, otherwise your speed will be like 110 an hour. And you can get a ticket for speeding. But lucky for me now, as I mentioned, I only have a very light load, so this hill does not affect my speed that bad. And this is Highway 6 near Hamilton. Very strong side wind today.
In 1 kilometer, keep left onto Highway 403 East.
And I'm just approaching the ramp to Interstate 403, which will take me to the border with Buffalo, New York. As you probably have guessed, this is still Canada. You see the sign 403 East, Toronto, Niagara, this lane. This is also can be a dangerous spot.
Keep left onto Highway 403 East.
Yeah, first of all, the turn here, the curve, is pretty sharp, and you see on the right there's a sign of tilting trailer. It's there for a reason. So you gotta watch your speed. Exactly what I'm doing, because I'm a professional. I'm paid to drive this truck. Now here we have an interesting situation, a very narrow, short ramp, and right away you have to change lanes. Because this left lane is close to trucks in about like a few hundred meters. And of course nobody's letting you in.
Continue 5 kilometers.
Okay.
Then keep right onto Highway 403.
There was one kind soul who let me in. And we're on the freeway. Next junction is QEW, Queen Elizabeth Freeway. Or wait a second, QEW. Elizabeth Way. Yep. Now here's another treacherous spot. It shows, the sign shows as if there's like 3 lanes going to QEW, to Niagara Falls. You see the left lane is 407, which is a toll highway, crazily expensive.
Keep right onto Highway 403, then take ramp ahead.
So very few truckers use it. Oh, hold on, I got a call. So I reached the border. This is a Flying J truck stop at exit 5 of QEW in Ontario, Canada, just 5 kilometers from the Peace Bridge and Buffalo Customs. And one thing I often run into, I gotta rack my brain about fuel. Like right now I was almost, less than a quarter of a tank, so there's no way I can proceed. And right on the other side of the border, exit 47, right? There's TA, there's Flying J, but this is New York. So I'm trying to find out what's the time now for my logbook. Okay, 2 o'clock. But over there, I know it's going to be like 4.30 US per gallon, And with the Canadian dollar now being very weak, sometimes it's kind of difficult to decide where to fuel. Like for example, I figured out where the price will be more or less decent, because I'm going to Pennsylvania. I know in Pennsylvania the price will be already much cheaper than in New York, so that's where I want to fill up, right? And so here I just got my smartphone, opened the Google Maps, and I checked the distance from here to the truck stop in Pennsylvania, where I can get some fuel at a decent price, I know for a fact, and where I can spend the night. And that's about 5 hours from here. And one note, quick note about the truck service. I mean, something definitely happened to the truck in a good way. It pulls much better now, and also I noticed right away, like before, my average fuel mileage on all 4,000 miles was like 5.7, 5.8, you know, even with an empty trailer. That's the average basically from day one, right? I never reset that trip one. Just doing my logbook here. I never reset the data for trip 1. Like I'm playing with trip 2, which is like daily stuff or between fuel ups. But trip 1 is the same as when I got the truck. So it was 5.7, 5.8, and now I'm checking, and the wind blows in my side. Very strong wind, but it's much warmer now, right? It's pretty much like summer or fall or whatever. And it's 6.9 miles per gallon US, ladies and gentlemen. And I know some people say I'm kind of obsessed about fuel mileage, but my last paycheck, $2,500 went to fuel. You know, 2,500 bucks, just like for slightly over a week of work. You know, I was really buying fuel like left and right, even though I'm driving like very, very slow, you know. So that's why I talk about fuel, because, you know, it's my money. The more fuel I spend, the less toys I can buy. And I know some people would like that, but, you know, I like buying toys, so I don't think anything wrong with that. Especially when you're single and there's no one else besides you that will buy you toys. You know, when you have a family, right? You wake up and every probably second Tuesday you see a gift wrapped under your pillow, you know. Thank you, dear husband, or thank you, dear father. Well, you know, that stuff does not happen to me, so I gotta take care of my own, of myself, by myself. So my life is I cannot say it's hard, because at least I don't have to argue around the house, you know. I don't have to discipline the children. But now I have this extra chore where I gotta take care of the gifts, you know. And sometimes it's really stressful, you know, like, what do I buy? How do I satisfy a guy being myself? Anyways, what I did, so I decided, I checked the distance to that destination, right? So 5 hours, it was like 300 miles, and based on my current fuel mileage of around 7 miles per gallon, because I hardly have any weight, I figured I need, you know, so many gallons, and then this is being Canada, so the pumps are all rated in liters. So I divided the gallons, or multiplied the gallons, and I came with a number of 200 liters. And that's what I got. And it's like $1.27 per liter right now, Canadian. If you're not quite sure how much is that, in gallons per 378 times 127. So it's 4.8 Canadian per US gallon, which is not that bad if you divide by 4.8 times 88. So it's like 422 US, which is not too bad. So actually, you see, like now, with the Canadian dollar being very weak, it sometimes pays to buy stuff here, because I'm an Ontario business, I will get a refund for the sales tax that was included here, you know, so which will make the fuel still cheaper. So anyway, time to get going. Oh, and now I got that return load, and that load is gonna be some kind of a piece of agricultural equipment, and it's gonna require outrigger boards. So if someone can give me a hint, you know, because I measured my outriggers, and they're about 13 inches wide and about 2 inches below the deck, the metal. But I think my deck, the wood deck, is a bit higher, so I think I need 3-inch thick wood, probably 3-inch thick, 12-inch wide, and I don't know, maybe 12 feet long. And I found a place that sells hardwood, but the guy wants like 150 bucks for one board, you know, and you have to order, and it takes about a week. So forget it. I need to find something right now where I can just load this, maybe get something temporary, something you know, cheap, so that I can load this harvester, because it pays pretty good money. I don't want to lose it. And you know, I really don't need tarps, I really don't need straps, but as a heavy hauler I really need outrigger boards, because you know, that's why I got this 7 axle, so I can haul heavy stuff, and heavy stuff often is wide and you gotta use the boards, right? So now that's another problem I'll be thinking about on my way down to Pennsylvania, just where to get these boards. So because I don't have much money, I can't afford hardwood, I just need a temporary solution that will work with this big wheeled harvester. And the weather is getting worse and worse. First the GPS tells me to exit for the ramp to the Peace Bridge, and that's what I'm doing, and then it starts beeping saying that no trucks are allowed on this road. So how are we supposed to get to the Peace Bridge if this is the only ramp? Jesus. Buffalo on the other side. And I already changed the SIM card in my phone, but I didn't turn it on the Canadian side to avoid roaming charges. But as soon as I clear customs, I'll switch my phone on, and now I'll be using my US number. And at first, you know, this system of switching cards was kind of cumbersome, you know, troublesome. But now I'm so used to it. So 1 phone, 2 SIM cards, 2 phone numbers. And I'm in US. This is the ramp to I-190. People here had 2 meters, over 6 feet of snow last week, and it's already melted, most of it, so now they're afraid of flooding. The funny thing is that I was in Cambridge, basically on the other side of this water mass, and we didn't have as much snow. See it, but on the left I'm passing downtown. Yeah, that's when, of course, you want to have high wide angle on the dash cam. This one is just shooting pretty much straight ahead. But at least it's what, 2:41, so 20 minutes to 3. The rush hour is not here yet. Which is a good thing. So now I just need to reach I-90 and head east. And that's a toll highway. place of the meeting. Место встречи изменить нельзя. The famous, one of my favorite Russian movies of all time with singer, actor, you know, Sharapov, what's his name? Zhiglov. Vladimir Vysotsky. He died really young. This was one of his last movies. Like, you know, driving a Mack truck on a freeway. You can probably tell how much quieter it is compared to my earlier videos where I was driving an international truck, because I use pretty much the same camera. Well, now I'm using the Flip HD. Records in 720p. And before, sometimes I would use dash cams, and I tried like 2 or 3 different ones. I really like that blank box by Blue Tiger. The best part about that one was that the microphone was on the back side facing the driver, so when I talk and the dash cam is shooting forward.
In 1.3 kilometers, keep left to I-90 east.
You can hear everything very well. Okay, one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to go to Erie. Go to Albany.
Keep left to I-90 east. Drive 7.7 kilometers on I-90 east.
Another oversize. And here's some weird looking, oh yeah, that's the oil field trailer. It has like a pipe in the back, like a spooling, like a rolling thing. So this way they can tilt the trailer and just probably lower that stuff with a winch on the ground and pick up from the ground as well. But why such a hurry? You know? I'm driving 57, so that guy is basically flying at least 65. I never understand why people always drive so fast when they have a big and oversized load, you know? Like, it's more risky, right? It's more dangerous. Wouldn't you want to be maybe driving slower than normally, you know? I don't know. My goal right now is to reach Pennsylvania tomorrow, and I'm only about 5 hours away. And the wisdom I go by says that you choose your speed, choose the lowest speed that will get you to your destination on time. That's what I do. So my speed now is 57 miles per hour or 92 kilometers an hour at 1340 RPM, top gear number 18. And we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the sweet spot. I see the dollar signs at the bottom of my speedometer, and the average fuel mileage has jumped up to 6.9 miles per gallon. And I want to see 7, but that's probably not going to happen because I really had very poor performance with those heavy machinery that I had before. But even 6.9 average, you know, over the past 4,194 miles, that kind of feels pretty good. And here's another Mack truck, but this is a Granite pulling a low boy. Drags a low boy with a wheel loader. Yeah, I flashed my lights at him and he thanked me by flashing his. It's always good to see another Mack truck nowadays, you know. Like before I was paying attention to international trucks, now I look at Mack trucks. I'm a Mack truck fan now. Even though sometimes I may not be too happy with the performance, but I don't know, like recently after this oil change, you know, things have really improved. I hope they will improve even better when I get that Shell Rotella T6 fully synthetic 5W40 oil. А я еду за деньгами, за туманом едут только дураки. And it's 10 to 5. I'm taking a quick stop at this is the last rest area on I-90 before Syracuse turnoff, because I need to take exit 39 for I-690, and I'll be going south towards Binghamton. Now I gotta check the load. And it's already getting dark. Actually, it started getting dark at like 4:30. Now it's 10 to 5. Well, the sky is still okay, but there's lots of clouds. It's very warm. And I'm still at 6.9 miles per gallon. Average fuel economy. So thanks for watching. Be safe.
Keep left onto I-690 East. Take ramp on right to I-81 south. I-81 south. Drive 4.6 kilometers, then keep right onto I-81